Captain on the bridge.
Alright, captains, we are back here on the bridge, and today, yes, we got some things to go over from the Star Trek Online X feed, so on screen. Yes, captains, before we get into this video, do us a huge favor and hit that like button to help this video, to help the channel out. And of course, if you're new here, welcome. Consider subscribing here to the YouTube bridge, where we're always on the lookout for like-minded captains to share our love, passion for Star Trek Online, but also things Star Trek. Now, with that said, here we go. Yes, captains, a lot of ECs are going to be dropped today in this vid, so we're going to get right into it, and then, of course, at the end, give our conclusion. So I somehow missed this, but it's actually just patch notes for all the goodies coming to Stow, both for PC and console, so we'll just go straight into it. As a drop of this video, this is all done. So, patch notes for November 11th. PC. A lot going on here. So general, all windows can now be deleted in the chat configuration menu. Didn't even know that was a thing or people wanted that, but sure. Risen walkers Risen walkers can no longer be targeted by CPR. Didn't even know that was a thing as well. So known issues, Halloween 2025 and Galactic Red Alert loading screens are available after the event ends. Sure. For console, so Unleashed update, of course, a lot of captains have been waiting for this on the console bridge, and here it is. So Unleashed update is now available. So of course the new episode is available, best laid plans, and the new task force operation Shattered Peace, all ready to go. And of course with this, the actual event reward is the Elite Hazard Team ground set. It's 3 pieces of equipment, and it's inspired by the Star Trek Elite Force games. We'll go over that in a little bit more here. Known issues, the Halloween Smart ad was linked to the Unparalleled What's New tab. Halloween 2025 and Galactic Red Alert loading screens are available after the event ends. Season 34 Unleashed event description is not localized in the event. News info on Xbox. The reclaim option for the new Mud item Dimensional Harpet Master torpedo launcher is appearing in the wrong store tab. So that's quickly it for the patch notes. We've already gone through this, but there's a little cool video we'll go after in a bit. Now, there will be an actual stream after the drop of this video, hopefully if I time this correctly, and it's going to be with the DECA devs here, and it's what it is. So are you ready to feast? The feast event is going live today. With it comes a reward many of you have been waiting for, MOOPSY. Join Counselor Sun, of course, the deck developers, as they talk about MOOPSY and the new items coming as add-ons for our legendary Last Stand ship bundle to Stow. So that will be coming. We'll leave this till last because there's a lot to go over there, but I will say, love the graphic. We'll go here. So join Hugh and 7 of 9 in taking down the Etherians and others in our latest episode Unleashed, now live on the console bridge. So learn more about the release, the new items in the Low-Buy store, and the rewards you can earn. So we've already gone through this. Of course, we went down the trailer. It's really good stuff. So the brand new episode, Best Laid Plans, and the Shattered Peace TFO we've already done here on our channel. So we'll either link it in the description below or at the end cards. But going back here, again, the event here, the new actual event reward is going to be this, the 2376 Hazard Team suit. Now, we just recently, on probably a couple streams ago, finally put this on our main tune. We'll do a little bit of a review on this. I think it's kind of cool. I never played the games, but this is actually looks like it can really definitely fit in the main Star Trek universe. Of course, again, we've gone over this and we'll go over it in the video upcoming for that, so look out for that. Of course, there's new low-buy items as well. The Chronoton Tractor, you see there, or a stabilizer, I guess. Mercy Teleports, Green Refrigeration Armor, and the Federation Phaser Rifle 32th Century, and some space traits, or a space trait, and Sanctuary pets here, or the Alice Deer, along with the Starfleet 3189 dress uniform. Not a big fan of that, to be honest. So again, we've gone over this, so again, we'll link the videos of us going over that in the description below or at the end cards. So there is that. My console caps, enjoy. Unleashed, we will have to do that as well. And here we are. We're going to leave this for last. So add Astera per Aspera. The new Legendary Last Stand Starship Bundle comes to PC with 3 exciting ships and many more items. Check out all the details in our blog post. Again, really awesome graphic here. We're going to definitely use this for the wallpaper, or the thumbnail I should say, of this video. But let's head over to, oh, one more thing. Sorry, my caps on console. I forgot. My apologies. Don't forget. Today there is still a free giveaway, and it is an experimental ship upgrade token. And as you can see here, it's available November 11, 10 a.m. Pacific time, and ends tomorrow, November 12th, 10 a.m. Pacific time. So again, the last giveaway for the console caps. So now we can get into this details of this bundle. So the Legendary Last Stand Starship Bundle, the new Legendary Last Stand Starship Bundle, celebrates the hardship and sacrifices made by intrepid explorers and fearless warriors throughout the galaxy. On the edge of the final frontier, both danger and wonder await in equal measure. For every hard-won victory, there is a chance a bitter defeat. Indeed, one of Starfleet's most cherished proverbs is ad astera per aspera, which translated from Latin means through hardships to the stars. The new Legendary Stand Starship Bundle celebrates the hardship and sacrifice made by intrepid explorers and fearless warriors throughout the galaxy to boldly go no matter the cost. So, again, we knew this was coming. This was shown on stream last week. The bundle includes the legendary Nebula Temporal Science Spearhead, the legendary negh'var Intel Dreadnought Cruiser, and the legendary Delon Pilot Warbird. Now, we now know the goodies coming with this. Well, what does it come with? Well, look at this. Unexpected, the Klingon Chancellor Jacket, as seen in Star Trek VI, The Undiscovered Country, worn by the eminent Chancellor Gorkon. KDF Aligned costume, bundle exclusive, so you can only get this, of course, if you get the bundle. The Duck Tog Dagger is also here, so introduced in Star Trek 3, the search for Spock, seen in many Star Trek series. Cool looking dagger. And of course this, the LLAP energy pistol, as seen in Star Trek Generations, in the hands of the dastardly Tolian Sauron. Ground weapon, and of course, again, bundle exclusive. And additional items that come with this is one time only, of course, 5 master keys, 2 ship slots. I disappoint. 3 tech upgrade, 3 ship upgrades. That should be 9, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know why they've decided to just give 3. Or 6, I should say. And then, of course, the 100% ship coupon. No, it should be 9, because to go T6X2, you need 2 additional coupons after T6Xing it. So this is a little lacking. Now, this bundle becomes available on PC, of course, after maintenance, and it's done already. Discounted price of 10,125 Zen. Now, this discount will remain in place until December 2nd, and at which point it returns to its full price of 13,500. I made a prediction that this would have been somewhere between, I think, I said 12 to 15,000. So I was kind of on the money. With the discount, I was off. I thought the discounted price would be that much, but it's kind of scaling properly, because I'm going to be honest right here at this point of this video, I am underwhelmed by the additional items, to be very honest with you, Caps. Now, there should be a 35% sale coming down in the next month or two, which usually happens after bundles are released. So I would suggest waiting, because instead of paying 10,125, it'll be like 8,000 something if I did my math correctly. So, but yeah, if I'm gonna be just going off the additional items here, I am disappointed at 2 ship slots. That should be 3. 3 ship upgrades. That should be 9. And these ground weapons, the 2 ground weapons and the costume, I'm underwhelmed, to be very honest with you. We won't go over this videos. I'll leave this in the description below, Captain, so you can go over it. But it's your standard shot, kind of just going over the ships and how they look. We're gonna go to the individual blogs here. So we'll go over this first. The Legendary Nebula Temporal Science Spearhead. So the ship is ready to take the term applied sciences to a whole new level. So here we go, the Legendary Nebula Temporal Science Spearhead, which I thought this should have been included in the Wolf 359 bundle, in my opinion, but they've decided to make it a legendary, which I'm not too opposed against, but we'll keep reading here. So from a long and proud lineage of science vessels specializing in the study and manipulation of tachyon and tetryon particles, this legendary starship represents the pinnacle of scientific achievements in these fields. It is ready to take the term applied science to a whole new level. So this starship features a Commander Science Temporal Ops Special Seat and a Lieutenant Commander Universal Miracle Worker Specialist Seat. Now, when I first saw this, I missed that this was universal, so we'll get into that in a little bit, but that is okay for me personally. So the Legendary Nebula Temporal Science Spearhead comes with the following consoles from previous versions. So this does not come with a new console. So it comes with the tachyon detection grid, the tachyon particle field emitter, and the automated heavy tetryon emitters. So upon reaching level 5 in the Starship Master, you will unlock the tachyon dispersal and tachyon piercer starship traits. These traits can be found on previous ships. But upon reaching level 6 in the Starship's Master, you will unlock the particle fluctuation analysis starship trait for all characters on your account. While this trait is slotted, activating any universal console ability will grant a stacking bonus to yourself and up to 4 players within 10 clicks. This bonus provides increases to critical hits, critical healing, auxiliary power, and perception. They can stack up to 10 times, and each activation refreshes all existing stacks. That's very interesting. And I said that before when we read this initially, but we will wait to hear more from that. So the ship details here, of course, tier 6, fashion any. You have to complete the tutorial. The hull mod 1.2, shield mod 1.35. Weapons layout is a 4-3. Device slot 3. Base officer stations again, the Commander Science / Temporal, Lieutenant Commander Universal / Miracle Worker, Lieutenant Commander Science, Lieutenant Tactical, and Ensign Universal. So I thought it only was able to go Lieutenant Tactical and an Ensign Tactical, but the Lieutenant Commander slot here is universal. So definitely going to be using that if I get this ship or this bundle as the tactical station for me personally, because we can make that work. Console modifications, of course, 3 tac, 3 eng, 5 psi. Scales with levels. So base turn rate 11, impulse mod 0.18, inertia 45, plus 5 shields power, plus 15 aux power, secondary def. Can equip dual cannons, subsystem targeting, and sensor analysis. The, of course, molecular reconfiguration ship mechanic is there. Of course, your consoles, as mentioned before, and the mastery package of that of a science vessel, so plus exotic, plus shield hit points, plus healing, plus shield regen and hardness, and the starship traits, and of course the new one, particle fluctuation analysis. Admiralty stats, Eng 26, science 66, tac 34, and the special, it ignores psi from events. And here is an aft shot of it. I think it works the more that I look at it. Again, I have said I'm a quad nacelle fan, and it works. It's slowly growing on me, but it's weird that it's kind of smaller than the actual main ones, but sure, it is what it is. So again, here is the starship trait here. So again, when slotted, any activation of universal console abilities will grant stacking bonus. So what is it? So up to 10 times, 1% critical chance and healing critical chance, 10% critical severity and healing critical severity, plus 2 current and max aux power, plus 15 perception. So that's pretty good. That's a 10% crit chance and a 20% crit severity, healing and critical, if I'm not mistaken. So that's kind of crazy. That's to the point of a lot there for using universal console. So I think for the most part, actually that's 50%, sorry, my apologies. No, 100% critical severity. I know how to math, I promise. I'm doing that right. Yes, that's 10 times and 10%. There you go. So that's a lot. I think they're really trying to sell this to the DPS crowd, if I'm not mistaken, because it's a science ship with critical chance and severity bonuses. So I'm gonna wait to see what the experts in the DPS meta field say about this, but that sounds pretty good. So there's that. The next ship up is a negh'var, and that's a beautiful shot. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not even gonna lie, that is a beautiful shot. So let's go over this one. So the legendary negh'var Intel Dreadnought Cruiser, a terrifying weapon meant to both keep safe the Empire and deliver retribution to anyone who dares threaten them. There's that shot there. So originally launched in 2370, it became the flagship of the Klingon Empire during the events of the Dominion War. A terrifying weapon meant to both keep safe the Empire and deliver retribution to anyone who dares threaten them. Its honor guard, the so-called Chancellor's Chariots, features state-of-the-art disruptor weaponry meant for both defensive and offensive capabilities. Both the negh'var and its accompanying guard have had their disruptor systems enhanced to cause long-lasting damage and radiation explosions from the disruption of the target molecular bond. So that was kind of showcased on the stream there, kind of like a green little bubble explosion. But the starship includes a Commander Engineering Intel Specialist Bridge Officer seat and Lieutenant Commander Universal Command Specialist Bridge Officer seat. You know, Caps, I love me my command, so I'm a fan of this ship, definitely. So the legendary negh'var Intel Dreadnought Cruiser comes with the following console from previous versions, and it's only the molecular cohesion nullifier. Upon reaching level 5 in the Starship Master, you'll unlock the explosive polarity shift spaceship trait, and of course it can be found in the previous ships that came before this. The new trait, so upon reaching level 6 in the Master, you will unlock the Destabilizing Disruptor Emitters Starship trait for all characters on your account. While under this effect, Engineering, Command, or Intel Bridge Officer ability, your disruptor applies a damage over time debuff once every 0.5 seconds, with new applications refreshing during its duration. After 15 stacks, the dot will cause an explosion, dealing an AoE disruptor damage to and around the target in the small area. So it sounds good, not going to lie, especially if you like disruptors, that can definitely be something for you. So the details, again, rank 6, tier 6, faction any required rank must complete tutorials. So hull mod 1.45, shield mod 1.1, it is a 5-3 weapon layout with 4 device slots. Stations here again, the Command Engineering Intel, Lieutenant Commander Universal Command, Ensign Universal, Lieutenant Science, and Lieutenant Commander Tactical. Definitely going to have fun with cannons if I ever get this ship. Consoles 3 TAC, 5 Eng, 3 Psi. Base turn rate 10, impulse mod point 17, inertia 30, plus 15 weapon power, plus 5 aux power. Again, the molecular cohesion field console can equip dual cannons, enhanced battle cloak, 1 hanger of the Chancellor's Chariots. It has the gather intel ship mechanic and the cruiser command arrays of weapon system efficiency and attract fire. You definitely try to make this a tank if you wanted to, because at least you can have access to suppression barrage. It's not the highest level, but you still have access to it, I think. Dreadnought Cruiser is a Starship Master package, so plus hull regen, plus damage resistance to energy and radiation, plus crit chance, max hull HP, legacy Starship traits, of course, explosive polarity shift, and the new one, the destabilizing disruptor emitters. The Admiralty stats, Eng 58, Psi 29, TAC 39, special 2 crit from Eng and TAC. Again, beautiful looking ship. Love the actual Kronos 1 skin on it. So, the destabilizing disruptor emitters. Disruptor weapons deal damage by breaking the bonds of atoms. By attaching a wave of carefully tuned disruptor energy to our energy weapon systems, we can introduce a resonating destabilization frequency to the molecular geometry of the target, past a stable point, leading to a cascade of sudden exothermic reactions in the shape of highly radiated explosions. Yes. When activating Engineering Command or Intelligence Bridge Officer ability for 30 seconds, energy weapons apply a dot for 15 seconds, which stacks 15 times. New applications also refresh the duration of the dot. After 15 stacks, the dot expires, dealing radiation damage in a 1.25 click radius sphere around the target, hitting up to 5 foes. That's a very small distance, but sure. I guess the best way to do it is grab roll them and hope it goes off in that. Main target will be immune to this trait for 5 seconds, and there is a 30-second recharge time. And of course, the Chancellor's Chariots are heavy fighters equipped with disruptor cannons, which have been enhanced to generate a disruptor cascade effect on those on the receiving end of their weapons. So the wave-tuned disruptor weapons generate a cascading effect on the molecular geometry of the target, causing it to break, dealing disruptor damage, and reducing their energy weapons resistance. Heavy fighters, equipment, and abilities. Of course, it comes with disruptor cannon ×2, disruptor turret, disruptor cascade, and cannon rapid fire 1, 2, or 3. Of course, you can get the subsequent levels in your fleet starbase. So I knew that this ship would be totally fine, and from the sounds of it, it's definitely something that we can work with, especially on our KDF tune. But in my opinion, this should have been released in the year of the Klingon. Why it did not release, I guess they planned this far ahead. I'm not sure, but it's here now, and of course only available in this bundle. Lastly, in this bundle is this. Not a huge fan of how this looks. I think I've said that before, but I like how they were trying to think outside the box and see what a ship in the Enterprise C era would have looked like attacking it when it came back through that portal. So A for effort. So the legendary Delon pilot warbird, this starship builds upon the formidable lineage of the Delon and the Hathos warbirds that preceded, updated to support the most cutting edge in maneuverability technology. The Frontier reminds me of the Raven 7's old ship. Anyways, the Romulan Republic is proud to present its latest addition to its modern defensive fleet of warbirds. This legendary starship builds upon the formidable lineage of the Delon and Hathos warbirds that preceded, updated to support the most cutting edge, of course, again, to maneuverability and technology. Now, this starship features a commander tactical pilot, specialist bridge officer seat, and lieutenant commander engineering / intel specialist bridge officer seat. This warbird also comes equipped with the railgun experimental weapon in its experimental weapon slot. This potent weapon deals kinetic damage periodically and fires like a standard weapon. It may be upgraded like a standard weapon, swapped out for another experimental weapon, and placed in other starships' experimental weapon slots. So nothing new. Consoles that it come with is sabotage probe launcher, singularity inverter, and railgun destabilizer module. Upon reaching level 5 in the mastery, you will unlock the hit and run starship traits. These traits can be found in previous starships. Now, the new one, for reaching 6, you will unlock the parry and thrust starship trait for all characters on your account. Duck, dip, and dodge the enemy, and return fire with deadly well-placed strike. Activating pilot maneuvers, evasive maneuvers, or brace for impact will grant you multiple stacks of parry and thrust. While these stacks are present, you will gain increased critical severity with your directed energy weapons. For each stack, max 1 per second, consume 1 stack of parry and thrust to deal an additional burst of plasma damage to your currently targeted enemy. So definitely would like to use plasma on this. For my Romulans, my weapon of choice is actually Disruptor, because that's kind of what you see there on screen. But they're pushing plasma, of course, because in STO, that's what their weapons are. So the details here, again, tier 6. We're gonna go straight here. So hull mod 1.175, shield mod 1.05. It is a 5-2 weapon layout with 2 device slots. Commander tactical pilot, lieutenant commander engineering intel, lieutenant commander universal, lieutenant tactical, ensign universal. Console is 5 tac, 4 eng, 2 psi. Definitely can go the way of isomags, especially if you upgrade this, especially if you came with the 9 upgrade tokens, but it didn't. Just saying. Base turn rate 16, impulse mod 0.2, inertia 70, plus 10 weapon power, plus 10 eng power. Can equip dual cannons. Experimental weapon slot is a railgun. It has a singularity drive, and of course has the battle cloak of the Romulan. The pilot maneuvers, of course, it comes with sabotage probe launcher, singularity inverter, railgun destabilizer module for the consoles. Starship mastery package of that of a tactical warbird plus AC, plus singularity gain, minus singularity cooldown, plus weapon damage, plus crit chance. The starship trait, hit and run, and the new one, the parry and thrust. Admiralty stats is Eng 46, Psi 19, TAC 61, with a special of plus 25 TAC when alone. I will give it up to this design. I do like the winged design underneath and how this looks like with the disruptor cannons kind of poking out there beside the neck there. So I do like the look of it from this view. The top view, it for some reason is not doing it for me. I don't know why, but it's not. This view, it is. Kind of weird. Again, the parry and thrust here. So when using, okay, pilot maneuvers, evasive maneuvers, or brace for impact, gain 5 stacks of parry and thrust for 10 seconds per stack. 10% critical severity with directed energy weapons. So that's 50% right there. Critical severity. Max 1 per second when hitting with directed energy weapons. Consume 1 stack of parry and thrust to deal additional plasma damage to target. So I'm not sure how good this would be on a plasma build. We don't have like the meta type plasma where you use the Gorn trait and plasma weapons. So I'd be interested to see what someone say, like Spencer, casual SAB. Of course, I'm waiting to hear what he says in terms of how useful this will be in the end game, quote unquote. I use air quotes, even though you guys, captains, didn't see it. But that is the Delon, and that is all the ships that come with this bundle. Now, I will say I'm a little underwhelmed with the whole package. I'm not even gonna lie. I don't know where I'd place this in terms of ranking with the other legendary bundles, but the only one that I don't have is, up to this point, is the Jem'Hadar bug ship one. I just don't need it because I already have the trait that I want from it. This one, the trait does sound pretty cool, pretty good from the Neb there. The negh'var, something pretty good there too, especially if you use disruptor, and of course plasma. I'm not sure how good this will be when it comes to the plasma meta, but I'm kind of definitely underwhelmed with the additional add-ons like the costume, the knife, the dagger, and this ground weapon. It just doesn't do anything for me. And the missed opportunity to give us 3, I'm hoping this is a typo. We'll have to wait and see what they say. And especially with this, the 3 ship upgrade, this definitely should be 9. For the price, it is a lot cheaper than I thought it would be. But if I'm going to be honest with you, captains, for me personally, I'm not quite sure. I'm still on the fence. If I get it, I will get it because it's on the list. Let's just put it that way. It's higher on the list than the bug ship, but I don't think I'll be getting the legendary bug ship, to be honest with you. So I'm just overall underwhelmed with it. Now, of course, this bundle does technically come with 4 ships because you get the 100% ship coupon there. So is the value there for someone like a captain like me? I'm on the fence. Kind of no. Leaning more towards no. If you're more of a space Barbie, this may be definitely for you. But I would recommend waiting for a 35% sale so that you can actually get it at a cheaper discount. And who knows, we might get it at this point. If I do, would I fly it? Of course, we would showcase it on the bridge. But at this point in time, we're not going to get it right away. And don't let my ECs persuade you. Of course, if this is something you've been waiting for, then have at her. Of course, we're just, again, sharing our 2 ECs here on the bridge. And of course, more power to you if you definitely have been waiting for the ships, especially the surprise Romulan ship that is kind of their take on that era of Romulan ship during the time of the Enterprise C. So after all that and said, yeah, just kind of underwhelmed. So we're going to wait and see what others say. And of course, we're going to also see how it's showcased in the dev stream coming up, hopefully after the release of this video. But we're going to leave it on this note. Here on Reddit, we have a post from River Flower 17 showing off MOOPSY. So we're going to end it off on this little cute thing. It does look cute, not gonna lie. So you can summon it there in ESD or social zones. But check this out. That just that looks so, and then it rolls over to try to pretend it's cute. That's hilarious. That is pretty cool. Again, I said not much of a ground captain, but just to have it is kind of cool, especially it representing the lower decks Star Trek. So that's gonna be it for the video. Captains, do us a huge favor, hit the like button, comment below, let us know what your thoughts on the new legendary bundle. I'd like to know. Of course, if you're new here, consider subscribing to the YouTube bridge, and we'll leave it on this note.
Live long and prosper.